Hello, my name's John Douglas and I'll be talking about my dissertation, which is an investigation into choreographic stimuli and the benefits to hip-hop battle dancers. How I came across this was by looking into one of the videos of Wayne McGregor, which he talks about choreographic stimuli and kinetic movement. This inspired me to look at the investigation of my question and to get a better understanding of how choreographic stimuli benefits hip-hop battle dancers, which then leads to my research question: investigation use of choreographic stimuli. You'll get a better understanding of everything within my literature review, research methods, case study and my bibliography. Within my literature review, I have three key main components. One of them being a writer called Kavar, 1985, who talks about the aesthetics concepts. Second being Kevin Paradox, who talks about how to stop repeating dance moves, and how to freestyle and how to freestyle. The third one being TED, a choreographer's creative process in real time, Wayne McGregor. So looking into the first one, Kavir, the aesthetics concepts, there are 8 aesthetic concepts which within the 8 components you have to have. Within the 8 components, he talks about how you're supposed to have 8 components to have a unique choreographic stimuli. You can see by within my diagram, these are the 8 components. I'll be taking one of the aspects, which is content, and I'll be where he talks about basically the subject matter intentions, literal or non-literal, and what he means by that is by when a performer is within an area, or a person is performing, if it's a literal performance and the person is standing still, there is still an intention behind what the person is doing. There is still a meaning or a definition to the person, even if they're not moving. So that would become a non-literal. A literal just means when someone is doing something on stage. Second one, Kevin Paradox. Kevin Paradox talks about mind blockage, and how you get past that. So within the mind blockage, he talks about how your original movement can be your weakest but also your strength. So he says that by utilizing your old movements to your advantage, by doing by doing 5 variations of the same movement but in different ways. So by doing that you get new material to get an understanding of how to move in different ways. And the third one, continue with that, he then talks about you also need to get an understanding of different embodiments of different styles to get more materialistic within your body, so that can utilize to your advantage to get past these mind blockage, not just having 5 different variations of one style, but if you have more than one style, you can understand how your body moves in different parts. Talking about Wayne McGregor within the TED Talk, Wayne McGregor talks about choreographic stimuli, visualization and capitalization. So he takes the word TED and he has 2 dancers, and he uses the visualization of TED, and his dancers capitalize his vision, and that creates his choreographic movement. Overall, within these 3 components, I'll be using fundamental components to understand the key components before a dancer is used within battles. So how they've use their fundamentals within battles and how that's helped them use the stimuli. Secondly, how a dance has moved past their mindset, so how they've overcome, how they've created new visions, new creations, new material to better their variety. And with the TED Talk, I'll be utilising it in the sense of how people use their visualization, their choreographic and capitalization, such as like imagery, such as things like imagery. Moving forward to my research methods, I'll be using interview, historical analysis, textual analysis, screen dancing, questionnaires, ethnography, watching live performances. Within these research methods, I'll be using all of these to get a vast knowledge of my question, to get a better understanding and to go into further depths of what my question is about. Within my case study, I have questions, but my questions will lead to further development within my question. So my questions are: what is a choreographic stimuli, through to one-on-one interviews and further research. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be doing one-to-one interviews with and further research with my choreographic stimuli. Why people use choreographic stimuli and what does it mean to them. What development movement is used within choreographic stimulus. What development movement is used within concepts. What artists have used choreographic stimuli within their freestyle choreography. So the ones that I haven't said, I'll be using majority of the research methods within my case studies, but because I haven't singified one-to-one, I'll be using more than one, so I'll get a more understanding by using majority of the research methods within my question to get an understanding of what I'll be learning about. Within my bibliography, there's one thing called, got the name, J. Smith. This person called J. Smith talks about the space, the time, and the upper and lower body torso, and what they talk about corresponds to Carver, the ascetic concepts, and they interlink into each other which underlines onto the fundamentals, which leads into, again, how people come across their technique and their process within their development of dance. So that's one of the researches that I'll be taking a further look into to get a better understanding of what my question will be about. And also taking another look, there was one more person, which I forgot, but basically they take a look into how your aspect of vision can be changed. So you say it's almost like it comes under imagery actually, where they say if you look up the stairs, but if you looked at it from a different angle, so you looked at it from the side or you looked at it from the ceiling, how can that change your approach within dance? So that's another thing which kind of interlinks to Wayne McGregor. But yeah, that's it.